Alright, so to start off, you avoid the middle section because the bag is still there if you performed bag skip in CO earlier. So you go off to the left, you slide down, grab the cherry, and then this is, I guess, the start of what I might do differently to some runners is I turn my camera so that I'm kind of facing the bridge, like, or the camera's facing the bridge, and I walk behind the other cherry, and then I walk up to the cherry, and then I throw it in once the cherry on the ground is expanded, or like, I guess contracting. Once it's taller than usual in its animation, I throw it. And then I jump on top of the cherries, and this actually looks like a pretty quick setup. I think I take a little bit more time to set up just to make sure I get it in this clip. Basically what I'm trying to do is I'm looking at this cherry and I'm trying to get into the center of it while also having this angle with the bridge. So I look like around this texture. It's not very, like, I don't look for a precise like pixel alignment or anything like that. I found that I actually got worse results once I tried doing something like that. So I just look in this rough area, try to get into the center of the cherry that's on the ground, and then walk onto it, and as soon as I'm in the center of it and I can pick this one up, I do so once I have the angle. So that's the setup I use, and then I look, oh, it's kind of hard to see with this quality. I look here, so I look at this icicle here and I run off with sprint as soon as that gets off screen. I did a little bit earlier, or too early in this clip, so I'm gonna hit the ground, but that's the cue I look for. It'll be different depending on where you are in the second cherry when you grab the first cherry. So like when you start the hover, where you are relative to both cherries affects like your horizontal speed and your vertical speed. So when you have to run off will be slightly different, but it's around the same time if you do the same setup every time. So here's just another clip of it. I'm going to show one more after this as well. It's basically the same thing, or at least I try to make it the same. Whatever setup you use, even if it's not this one, try to just like make it as easy to replicate as possible without having to worry about like any pixel alignments or anything like that. Unless you can make that completely consistent, then go for it, but I would recommend not trying that. So here's one more. So here I'm a little bit too far to the right on the cherry, so I didn't like that, so I kind of jumped back and tried to set up again. I think if I went with the initial positioning, I would have like swerved off to the right, because your control of the cherry changes depending on where you are on it. So even that's like not good enough. That's like right in the center, so that'll work. Yeah, and that's basically what I do.